Now, it's not every day leave a $5 million donation. Last week, the CEO, Bill Appleby of Jewish Care, said he was thrilled to announce that the family of the late Darryl Cohen had gifted Jewish Care a $5 million donation. Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good morning, Gary. I'm very well, thank you, and good morning to your listeners.
Thank you very much. And of course, I know that Jewish Care is in the middle of planning a major rebuilding program, and I gather that that's what this donation is all about.
It certainly is. Jewish Care's embarked on a major sort of transformational journey. We launched our annual appeal during Hanukkah in 2014 with a target of $30 million to support the development of 6 new projects for Jewish Care of the value of around $180 million.
Right, and that's mainly in the St Kilda Road precinct?
No, it's actually across a range of services. We've got 6 projects, one of which we've already delivered, which is the Koppel and Pekarsky Family Disability Respite Centre in Glen Ira Road, providing much-needed respite support for people living with a disability, which we opened in February this year. The 5 remaining projects is the St Kilda Road site, which is going to be broken up into 2 stages. Stage 1 is a 9-storey senior living precinct providing 10 houses of 156 beds of residential aged care, and then 2 levels of integrated services to support our community. And stage 2 will be a vertical stack retirement village, arguably on one of the best boulevards in Australia, St Kilda Road.
Absolutely.
We've also got a development of another aged care facility down in Carnegie in Wagoo Road, just off Murrumbina Road.
Right.
As we've seen a significant south sort of east drift of our community into locations like Oakley, Carnegie, Murrumbina, Bentley, those sort of areas, we're very keen to actually have our services accessible down in that area. We have an existing facility called Gary Smorgan House, providing 120 beds of residential aged care currently in Freeman Street in Caulfield South, and we're wanting to actually create again another integrated aged care service there. We've purchased 2 homes next door to Gary Smorgan House, and we'll be building an extension there, providing healthy ageing services and community outreach services. And lastly, with the increase in obviously housing distress in our community and the broader Australian community, we do have a housing service already, but we're wanting to invest in further making further housing available to our community. So we plan to actually build another 33 units to supplement our community housing response in East St Kilda.
Right, and of course that's a very ambitious and very costly undertaking. It's a massive capital program. What does a $5 million donation mean to you?
Well, it's a very, very significant gift. I think it's a beyond generous gift, and we're obviously hoping that gift will inspire others in our community to become part of this once-in-a-generation opportunity to transform all that we do at Jewish Care. But what the $5 million does for us is really help us deliver these services, much-needed services for our community. We're about 19 months into our capital appeal at the moment. We have accumulated $18 million of pledges, so we're not that far away. Another $12 million will help us to deliver all 6 projects. So it's very significant in terms of our ability to be able to deliver these services for our community.
Absolutely, and I should just point out about the donation that it's, and you said in your media release that it's believed to be the largest in the history of the Victorian Jewish community. And of course, the donation is from Hannah Cohen, the wife of the late Darryl Cohen. And just a little bit about Darryl Cohen, who passed away in April this year. He represented Australia in weightlifting at the Rome Olympics in 1960. He was a passionate sports person and was instrumental in the formation of the Ajax Football Club. He ran a successful law practice. So, and it was Hannah, his wife, and their 4 daughters who actually made this donation. A terrific contribution. I take it all of it is going towards the capital works.
Absolutely, that's certainly where it's needed. So that money will be absolutely directed into those areas.
Right, and you say this is you're 18 months into the fundraising program. How long does the program have to go? I mean, obviously, it's got to catch up with the start of works.
The works, in terms of St Kilda Road, those works will actually commence this year.
Right.
That will be a 2-year project in terms of stage 1. Carnegie will commence February next year, 2017, which will be an 18-month project. So these projects, as I mentioned earlier, with the Koppel and Pekarsky Disability Respite Centre, they're already commenced, and as those monies come in, we're able to allocate those to the relevant projects. At the moment, with regards to our housing project, we already have a town planning permit ready to go, but unfortunately we don't have the funds as yet from the community to actually commence those works. So I'd encourage anyone listening to this conversation at the moment to hopefully be inspired by Hannah and her 4 daughters and their family to get on board and become part of this.
Oh, almost sounds like a film title, Hannah and her 4 daughters. And how can people do that? Can they go to your website? What's the best way?
Absolutely, they can go to the website, or probably with regards to our capital, they're probably best to actually give us a call on 8517 5999, which is Jewish Care's front door, and either ask to talk to myself or Mark Joel, who's our General Manager of Development, or Orly Schneeweis, who's our Major Donor Relationship Manager. So certainly we're all very accessible and really they're available to talk to anyone who wants to be part of this journey.
Now, just to ask you a little bit about Jewish Care's own journey, it's been it's changed significantly over the last decade, and I guess where do you see it going in the future with continued ageing of our population, but demands by young people too for a different range of services?
It's a really good question, Gary. I think it's an amazing organisation, and certainly I've been here for 7 years and had the privilege of leading the organisation. In Australia, we're going through massive social policy change, particularly in the area of disability, with the National Disability Insurance Scheme being rolled out, but also in the area of aged care. We're going through significant aged care reforms where funding is moving from agency to consumer. And the whole idea is to increase consumer contribution, but to empower consumers and give them opportunities to purchase services where they basically feel is most appropriate to support their needs.
Right.
With regards to Jewish Care and the Jewish community, the Jewish community is obviously quite a unique community made up by waves of migration. So our community is already relatively old compared to the broader Australian community. So, for example, 19% of our community are over the age of 65, whereas 14% of the community, the Australian community, is over the age of 65. So we've already seen...
That's a significant difference, yeah.
Absolutely. So, which is a celebration, with, improved sanitation, immunisation, those sorts of things. We're living longer, which is great. So Jewish Care is already sort of re-engineered its services. We've had significant growth in terms of in-home support through our Commonwealth Home Support packages, as well as our claims conference. So we're supporting about 850 people at the moment to remain independent at home. In terms of where our services are going, as I said, we're quite a unique organisation. We provide 34 different programs across the spectrum of people in terms of age groups. So those programs could effectively be broken up into sort of 3 baskets of services that support people to age well, and they might be residential aged care, in-home services, healthy ageing, a whole raft of services that support people to age well. The second basket of services, if you like, are disability services with the focus around inclusion. So they might be 24/7 accommodation, they might be respite services, they might be services that we're supporting the unpaid carer, the mother, the father, the spouse, the brother, the sister. And then the third basket of services, and a lot of what we call our social justice programs sit in this basket where we don't necessarily get government funding for, and that's why we go out and every year ask the community to support us for our annual appeal. Those services are about building resilience and capacity in the community, and we talk about a hand up rather than a hand out in our community. It's really about allowing people to live the best that they can possibly live. And so services might be, for example, community housing, it might be financial aid, it might be our microfinancing service, it might be our counselling service, our case management service, mental health services, those type of services, employment and education. So there's a whole raft of services there to actually wrap around people depending on where they're at in their life.
Right. Okay, well, it's certainly a massive range of services that you do provide to the Jewish community, and I'm not sure whether people recognise that on a daily basis. It is a tremendous service to our community in Melbourne. So well done, and well done on a donation of $5 million from the Cohen family. That's tremendous, and we wish you good luck. We look forward to seeing the face of St Kilda Road slowly change from next year.
Certainly exciting times, and thanks for the opportunity, Gary, to come on air and really just highlight and acknowledge Hannah and her family for their very, very generous gift to Jewish Care.
Absolutely. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Okay, thanks, Gary.